Okay, so hello, everybody. We are going to, you have a quiz tomorrow. I'm not going to be available today to answer questions, but I will have my Google Meets on tomorrow to help you if you need it. I have assigned a quiz study guide, and since I'm not there to have a live class, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through how to solve it. So let's get started on that. I'm going to try to focus this the best I can. Let me see if that helps. Hopefully you can see that and you can pull it up on your Cami as well. So first of all, we're going to classify triangles. Remember, when we classify triangles, we classify triangles by sides and by angles. So let's look at this first one here. We're looking at angle ABE, angle ABE. Well, clearly that is a right triangle. So we're going to put right. But then if we're going to classify this by sides, we can see we have three different sides. All three sides are different lengths. So that is called a scalene. Now you will have to know these for your quiz, okay? So you can refer back to the notes on the first day when we did this unit on Monday. Refer back to that where we went through all of these. Now let's look at angle BCE. BCE, okay? And we're going to look at this and we're going to try, I'm sorry, that's BEC, yep. And we're going to look at this and try and determine what kind of triangle this is. Well, we don't have any measurements to indicate it's 90 degrees. So it is all of the angles are less than 90 degrees. If all of the angles are less than 90 degrees, that is acute. And now the next thing is we have to look at the rest of the figure to figure this out. If we look at this triangle here, if we look at this triangle right here, we can see that there's markings where there's they're congruent. So we know then that this section to this section is 5, okay? And then this little section here is 2, which means the whole thing here is 7. This whole thing is 7. And we also have 7 over here. So that means we have two sides that are the same. Two sides that are the same means that we have an isosceles triangle. Okay, and then on DEF, that's the one we just did, where we have three sides with this marking here. All three sides are the same, and all three angles are the same here. So this is going to be equiangular, and it is equilateral. Okay, and then finally, our last one that we're going to look at, let me find, here's pink. We're looking at this triangle over here. This angle here is clearly larger than a right angle. So that is going to be, that means it is an obtuse triangle. And all three sides are different. So that means it is scalene. Okay, so I'm just going to put on here a quick little note for you that remember that I'll put it up here for you. A right triangle means you have a 190-degree angle. Acute means that the angles are less than 90 degrees. Equiangular means that the are all equal. And obtuse means that you're going to have just one angle is greater than 90 degrees, okay? Now, if we were to do this by sides, if we were to look at this and classify by sides, we would know that scalene, if I write it over here, can you see that? Good. If you have scalene, that means all sides are different. All sides are different. And if it's an isosceles, that means two sides are equal. Two sides are equal. And then finally, if it's an equilateral, you're looking at equilateral. And that means all sides are equal. Okay? And again, there's a video from on Monday that would go more into this, but that's pretty much all you would need to know. Now, let's look at this next question here. Which of the following is the correct classification of angle MNP if the measure of angle M is equal to 35 degrees and the measure of angle P is equal to 47 degrees, okay? So if we wanted to find out what the third angle is, which would be angle M or angle N, that's going to be 180 minus 35 minus 47, which means that we're going to have, which means it's going to be the measure of angle N is equal to 98 degrees. Now, right here, right now, when you have one angle, just one angle that is greater than 90 degrees, then one angle that is greater than 90 degrees, that means that it's going to be an obtuse triangle. So do you see how just using the information without a picture, I didn't realize it was covered up. We knew that one of them was 35 degrees, one of them was 47 degrees. To get the third angle, we subtracted from 180, which meant that the third angle is 98 degrees. That is larger than 90 degrees, so it's obtuse, so the answer would be D. Okay, moving on. Hopefully this is all making sense and you're feeling confident for your quiz. If WXY is an isosceles triangle with WX congruent to XY, find X and find the measure of each side. Well, we know that they're saying that WX and XY are congruent. So to start us out here, we're going to solve for X by making them equal to each other because we know that they are the same. So we would say 6X minus 77 is equal to 3X plus 4. Then if we combine like terms, we'll have 3X is equal to 81. And if we divide by 3, we know that X is equal to 27. So we can put that over here in this spot. Now we can use that 27 to figure everything else out. So if we did this one, we're going to say 3 times 27 plus 4 for XY, and that's going to give us 85 degrees. Now, when we do this, we should end up with 85 degrees for this one as well because they will be the same size. So let's try that. 6 times that X, which was 27, minus 77. And that will give us X is equal to, let's see, 6 times 27 is going to be, let's figure that out. 6 times 27 is equal to 162 minus 77. And that is 85 degrees. I'm sorry, not 85 degrees. The length is 85. Sorry about that. Okay. The measure is 85. So this one's 85 and this is 85 and they're the same and they should be. Now we can figure out this length here. 5 times 27 minus 31. That's going to be 5 times 27 is 135 minus 31. And that's going to be 104. 104. Okay, that's the measure of that one. So we were just finding the lengths. We weren't finding the angle, so I apologize that was confusing. We were just trying to find these lengths. And remember, when they're isosceles, they are, two sides will be the same. All right, so hopefully it's making sense. Let's do some more here. Okay, so this angle, let's look at this. Where are we going to start? We have to find the missing angle. What do we know? Well, we can my first thing I would do is I have parallel lines here, okay? And I know this because of this and this. And this would be a transversal. This is a transversal here, cutting across parallel lines. So this 81 degrees, this 81 degrees is going to be, that is an alternate interior. That's an alternate interior angle. They're alternate interior angles. They are congruent. So I can say that angle 5 is also 81 degrees. So then I have 81 degrees here, and I know this one's 64. So to figure out angle 4, I can do 180 minus 81 minus 64, and that's going to give me 35 degrees. So angle 4 is 35 degrees. Okay, so we have that figured out. What else could we figure out here? So we have on angle 1, with this 88 degrees here, we have a linear pair. That means that these are going to add up to be 180 degrees. So I can say 180 minus 88 is going to be equal to 180 minus 88 is equal to 92 degrees. So angle 3 is 92 degrees. Okay, getting closer and closer. Now, I need to find angle, that was angle 1. I apologize. That was angle 1 is 92 degrees. Angle 1 was 92 degrees, not angle 3. I apologize. So the next one we're going to look at is, what else can I figure out here? I have, if I added up this 81 and this 35 right here, this 81 and this 35, that is going to equal, this is going to equal, if we use our exterior sum theorem, that's going to equal this 92 and this together. So if I add up 81 plus 4 degrees, or I'm sorry, 81 plus 35 degrees, 81 plus 35 degrees is going to give me 116 degrees. And then if that's the case, then 116 degrees, if we apply our exterior angle theorem, this 116 degrees is going to be equal to angle 1 plus angle 2. Well, we know that angle 1 is 92 degrees, so we can figure out what angle 2 is by subtracting. So we can say 116 minus 92 is going to give us 24 degrees. So this right there, that is 24 degrees. So angle 2 is 24 degrees. So now we're left with angle 3. Well, now we can figure that out easy enough. We could have done it a couple different ways. We could have figured it out if we knew that we had 116 degrees here. We could subtract 180 minus 116 to get it that way. Or we could say, to get angle 3, 180 minus 92 minus 24. And let's see what we end up with. 180 minus 92 minus 24. And that's going to give us 64 degrees. Okay, so replay that back if you're not sure. But those are different strategies. You might have some other strategies, but that's how you're going to go about it. Don't forget that when you see that marking and that marking, those are parallel lines, and you can apply the alternate interior angle theorem. All right, so let's look at this next one. A little bit cleaner, a little bit easier that way. But look, we have these parallel lines again, okay? And we can use those parallel lines to help us as we figure out, how can we use that? We know that this is 38 degrees. We've got parallel lines. Think of it as parallel lines cut by this transversal here, okay? Parallel lines cut by a transversal. So in this case, this is 38 degrees. Then that is going to be congruent to this angle here. Again, we're using the alternate interior angle theorem. Let me make sure I move that over for you. Okay, so 38 degrees. This is going to be 38 degrees. So we would say that angle 3 is 38 degrees. Good to go there. Now, if we know that this one's 38 degrees and we know that this is 63 degrees, we can apply our angle sum theorem. We can say 180 degrees minus this 63 minus 38 is going to be equal to angle 2. So let's figure out what we get with that. 180 minus 63 minus 38, that gives us 79 degrees. Okay, so now that takes care of angle 2 is 79 degrees. But then here's another easy one we can figure out. We know that, and we could have done this one first. We could have done angle 1 from the beginning. And maybe you're thinking, Mrs. Kunstick, why didn't you do angle 1 first? I don't know. I decided to go to figure out the harder ones first. This is a right triangle. That means it's 90 degrees. So we know this one and this one, they gave it that to the beginning. So we would say 180 minus 90 minus 38 is going to be 180 minus 90 minus 38. And that's going to give us 52 degrees. Okay? There, sorry, I had the calculator in the way. So there we have those two, probably the most challenging ones you're going to see. So I'm going to move my paper up. And now we can do a little bit of algebra, because don't we love algebra, right? All right, so let's look at this. We have 3 angles. We're going to find x. All we need to do is find x. So let's look at this first one here. Make sure I'm letting you see the whole thing. Okay. Number 5. All of these have to add up to 180 degrees, because that's just the angle sum theorem. So by the angle sum theorem, we would say 8x minus 35 plus 6x minus 5 plus 3x minus 1 is all equal to 180 degrees. So I can combine my like terms here, and that's going to give me 17. I'm going to combine all my x's, so I have 17x. Then I'm going to combine this, this, and this, my like terms. 17x minus 41 is equal to 180. Then I'm going to add 41 to each side. So I have 17x is equal to 221. Divide by 17. So x is equal to 13. Okay, now let's look at this next one. Now we're going to employ our exterior angle. Let me move that over. Sorry about that, guys. Exterior angle theorem. And by that, we know that this is equal to this plus that. So we know that 5x minus 11 plus 2x plus 20 is equal to 11x minus 63. So let's combine like terms. So we have 7x plus 9 is equal to 11x minus 63. And I'm going to add 63 to either side, which is going to give me 72. And I'm going to subtract 7x from either side. So we're going to have 72 is equal to, so I'm going to subtract 7x over here, is equal to 4x, divide by 4, divide by 4. So then x is equal to 18. All right, so hopefully this all makes sense to you. You can rewatch the video on what we did here, and this is on the Kami app, and you can submit it and get ready for your quiz. Good luck.